Because as you were coming, you're like, I'm coming. Yeah, if I didn't do that, it's a good bet that I didn't fucking come. Yeah, good fucking bet. Yeah, no, I'm gonna leave that work to the ladies of the night with the heart of fucking gold, all right? They're fucking amazing at it. They're fucking great at it. They're like, yeah, daddy, right there. You're the best I ever had. A lot easier to lie when you get paid for it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Anastasia Lawless. Very interesting set, talking about how silent you stay. What's more silent, you during sex or the audience during your sets?
I'm actually very vocal, but you know, you have to make me come, you know, like, and I'll tell you, like, I'm coming, you know, just like you guys do.
Is that your real voice?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Is that your real voice?
Yes, it is. It is.
Okay.
It's been working for me for 16 years. This
Yes.
is your this is your first time on the show?
No.
Okay. When was your last time on the show?
It's been about a year.
How did that go?
It went well.
Have you washed your hair since then?
Yes, it's very hot outside though.
It is
so
indeed.
I
It
don't
is indeed.
lack sweat glands.
Okay, absolutely. All right, Anastasia. What do you do for work?
I'm a postpartum doula, newborn care specialist.
What does that mean?
I take care of babies and I help parents and families in the beginning stages of their journey into new family land.
What qualifications do you have to do that?
I have lots of experience. I've taken 50-hour courses and yeah, I've traveled the states doing it. Yeah.
Okay.
So you have to have certified, you know, CPR certified is very
Have you ever
deal.
had to save a baby?
I have had to help a baby from choking to death, yes.
What did you have to do? You like plunge the stuff out of it?
Actually, it's not, and I have to be current on my courses, so I have to say you should not do this anymore. But it used to be that you could do the little hook.
What
That's
is that?
what I did.
Is that you getting a butt plug out of an ass?
No. You get
earlier,
the food out of their mouth, you know. You hook
Oh,
it.
so it was choking.
Yeah.
Were you feeding it?
No, it was
So
a
someone else
toddler.
was feeding it.
She was feeding herself. She was a toddler. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Weirdest thing that's ever happened when you're working with these babies? Anything ever stand out to you? All of your tons and tons and tons of experience.
Weirdest thing that ever happened to me was a baby with pyloric stenosis.
Ooh, what's that? Sounds like a future Kill Tony regular to me. You know what I mean?
It is a genetic condition where they do not fully digest their food. So even after like 30 minutes, they're projectiling their whole bottle. And yeah. So this baby was doing that for, I want to say 3 weeks before I got there.
That's wild, because you just did it for 1 minute on the Kill Tony.
Yeah, that was incredible. That is true. It is amazing. How long you been doing stand-up, Anastasia?
June will be 2 years.
June will be 2 years. All of it here in Austin, Texas?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do believe there is a universal Amber Alert going on right now. That is incredible. Baby vomiting all over everything, everywhere. Missing its postpartum with bibbidi bop. Okay. What do you do for fun, Anastasia? What's like your wild nightlife like?
I don't really have a wildlife night. I'm in my 30s, so.
Right, perfect. You're already basically dead. You're right.
No. I like to, hike, and I like to write songs and write poetry, and I do pastel work.
Anastasia, how many Burning Mans in a row have you been to?
I've never been. I don't have that much money.
God, I mean.
You should change your stage name to Anesthesia, because she is putting me to sleep.
Oh my goodness. Speaking of anesthesia, how about one more time for the last guy's wife, everybody? He's laughing. I see him. He's laughing. For those of you groaning, he's laughing. Oh, look who's not laughing over here. Fucking Jesus Christ, dude. Amazing. Anastasia. Wow. Are you in a relationship?
No.
When's the last time you were in a relationship?
I was actually in a 10-year relationship.
Okay. When did that end?
It ended around. Huh? No, like I said, I'm not into drains,
What? What just happened there?
He said the train, and I said I'm not into trains, so that's not what
Right.
ended our relationship. COVID.
COVID ended your relationship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What happened?
We had to spend all our time together, and we're like, oh, we fucking hate each other.
Right, and then
Yeah.
after everything you say, you go, and he's like, Jesus fucking Christ, I can't fucking deal with it. Somebody give me some fucking. Yeah, there it is. Incredible. What did he do for a living? 10 years in a relationship, that's a long time.
We both are just hustlers. We do what we need to do to make money. you
Okay,
know?
right. Say that you can train babies or whatever.
Train babies? I don't train them. I just help parents.
Did he make you come?
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Okay.
I wouldn't be with somebody for 10 years if they couldn't make me fucking come. Like,
Well, it
fuck.
seems like he didn't want to be with somebody for 10 years either. How did it end? Was it his idea?
No, it was mutual.
Okay. All right.
It was
Did you
mutual. We're
guys
still
live together?
friends. Yeah.
And you don't live
we were
together?
engaged, everything, yeah.
Wow, look at that. Incredible.
What Cracker Barrel did he propose at?
He did not propose at Crackle Barrel.
No, but he did propose to a barrel that is a cracker.
I'm actually mixed.
Oh, really? What are you mixed with?
I'm Japanese and white, yeah.
Oh, wow. I don't really see the Japanese at all. And I don't see the intelligence of the Japanese running through you either. Incredible. What is the most Japanese thing about you? You a bad driver?
No. No. Mm-mm.
What do you think is the most Japanese thing about you? You ever do anything and you're like, that's my Japanese side. Like me, I talk with my hands. I'm Italian. You're Japanese. What's your thing?
Well, the laughing, the giggling, the Asian giggle.
Oh, I do see it.
What about
Yeah.
the suicide bombing on stage?
I don't know if I'm allowed to make that noise yet. It's been 2 years and
It's
a
not
month.
May anymore. You're
Right. Okay. Anastasia, congratulations. You got on the show again. You already have a little joke book, I'm guessing, from your
No, I
last
have a
time.
big joke
You have a big joke book?
Mhm, yeah.
Incredible. Well, you should use it. There she goes, Anastasia Lawless, everybody. And now, everybody, we've been through it here tonight. A lot of highs, a lot of lows. Hans Kim retained the re-entry of David Lucas into the Kill Tony universe, the shining performance of the future Cam Patterson, and two unbelievably compelling inside the building bucket pulls. A lot of hard bombings, a lot of people, you know. I mean, the thing about Austin becoming the comedy capital of the world is that a lot of the best comedians in the world are moving here, which also means that a lot of the worst comedians in the world are moving here. We got to see some of those tonight. And now that all comes to an end. Now I would bet everything I own that the next few minutes are going to be fun as hell, because I know, because this guy has the record for most appearances all time on this show, the most interviews, the most new minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you love him. It's the Vanilla Gorilla, the Memphis Strangler, the Big Red Machine, William Montgomery.
Shouts out to all my boys in Jamaica for the happy Juneteenth. I think the worst thing that ever happened to me was when I met my haters at age 3. A submarine that takes tourists deep into the ocean took to look at the Titanic wreckage is missing. The last time 5 tourists got lost in something that deep, Red Band's mom was screaming, "One at a time, one at a time." I'm actually thinking about becoming a Titanic truther. You mean you couldn't avoid an iceberg in an ocean that big? An Arizona man was mauled to death by a bear in an unprovoked attack. Wait, unprovoked? That dumbass walked up right to a motherfucking wild bear! Okay, that's all I got.
Unbelievable. 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 The man is in pure fighting shape. Always makes it, never misses. Again and again and again. The Titanic truther joke, perhaps being my favorite joke of the night tonight. Your delivery, your style, your energy. You've never been stronger. We found you when you were a bloated, obese mess. And
I remember, I still get the memories on my Instagram sometime of years ago, and it's a bunch of me listening to the old Beck, just zooming in on inanimate objects at 4 a.m. Yeah, it makes me feel weird, but luckily I think we're past that, Trevor, I think.
What did you mean when you said that you met all your haters when you were 3?
When I was 3, I actually went to a place called Silver Springs outside of Gainesville, Florida, and I went up there to get the snake wrapped around my neck. And the guy was like, "Where are you from?" And I kept on saying America, and then everybody was laughing, and I didn't understand why. And he kept on asking me where I was from, and I kept on saying America, and there were a couple fucking haters out in the crowd, and I remember looking at him just thinking, I am from America, I don't get it. So it's pretty much that, just at Silver Springs. If y'all are ever outside of Gainesville, Florida, visit Silver Springs. They have a really great glass bottom boat. And Tony, I'm glad you asked me about that. I actually have a new sponsor tonight, Silver Springs Theme Park outside of Gainesville, Florida.
Wow.
Tony, you know what I love about William?
Yeah.
Is that he's sober now and he's still weird as fuck. Like
Yeah.
when he came out here, because I came out here way after these two. When he came out here and I heard he got sober and lost all his weight, I was like, oh, William is gonna be fucking normal now. No, this motherfucker, this is him off cocaine. Y'all understand that?
Yeah. There's a certain amazing group of comedians that get sober and they stay weird. You know, it is incredible. There's an all-star lineup. You, Theo, right? Tim Dillon.
Who else? I think Gallagher. He famously got sober. The guy who did all the watermelon stuff. I mean, he was really bad off on crystal meth, but
Indeed.
John
Yeah,
Mulaney?
it's great that you mentioned
yeah,
Gallagher.
John Mulaney has a really bad crystal meth problem too. Yeah, I think he got Sinbad. I think had a really bad crystal meth problem as well. He got sober. He was still weird.
Shout out to Gallagher, who smashed more watermelons than anybody on Juneteenth ever has.
Shout out to Gallagher. Wait, that wasn't as good. Happy Juneteenth.
So Juneteenth is a Jamaican holiday to you?
Yes, I think it is. I did a little bit of research earlier. I think it started out in Jamaica.
Where did you do this research at exactly?
It's on Mad Magazine. I've been reading a bunch of Mad magazines. There was an article. Alfred E. Newman's still going strong, but yeah, I read it in Mad Magazine.
I love it. How much is the Silver Springs amusement park paying you? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Silver Springs Amusement Park right outside of Gainesville, Florida, down in...
How much are they paying you each time you say that?
Each time I say Silver Springs Amusement Park outside of Gainesville, Florida, it's $1,000. So
Wow.
please go to Silver Springs Amusement Park outside of Gainesville, Florida.
Can you describe it to us? So there's some rides or anything that people should check out?
Yeah, there's a glass bottom boat. You can actually, when I went with my family, it's a boat with literally a glass bottom, so you can look down into the springs. When I went with my family, I think in the early 90s, we actually saw a bloated corpse down there. So they had to close down the amusement park. Yeah, it was like this Hispanic guy, I think. He got super bloated. He was, I guess, doing some scuba diving stuff down in the springs. And, yeah, we saw him, and I was asking my dad what was going on, and my dad refused to tell me, and it turned into a thing. And then that piece of shit literally put a snake around my neck, Tony, and he was asking me where I was from, and I kept on saying America, and I didn't understand why everybody was laughing at me!
That thing that you do sometimes where you get really loud and it sounds kind of like urban, unlike the way that you normally speak. It sounds kind of, what would the word be?
Waikiki Beach!
Where do you...
He screams like James Brown.
Yeah. Yeah. You do. Where do you think that comes from? Where did that start?
We had a really sweet lady that used to help out my parents, an African-American lady growing up, and Her name was Imogene, and she kind of got me talking like that from an early age.
Okay. What was Emma Jean? What kind of help was she providing exactly when you say she was helping?
Folding towels, doing the bedding, doing the dog walking, making the meals. I'm trying to figure out what my parents were actually doing back then. I mean, Imogene was doing everything. Seriously, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck they were doing.
I love how when William's just talking, he sounds like somebody that can't cook, and when he screams, he sounds like somebody that knows every recipe.
That is true. How long was Emma Jean in your life? How is she still with your parents?
She is not. She sadly got there's actually a lot of quicksand outside of Memphis, and she went out for a swim one day, and the quicksand got her. A lot of people these days are like, oh, quicksand, I'm never around quicksand. It's really not that deadly. Well, I can tell you firsthand, quicksand is deadly as shit. If you ever are around it, don't get in it, because it'll suck you under. That's what happened to Imogene. Wow.
That is unbelievable. William, is there anything else we need to know about? Another unbelievable performance?
It's, in fact, a basal cell carcinoma that I have on my fucking neck. I have to get it lasered off this Wednesday. So
this Wednesday, you're going under the laser.
Yes, going under the laser.
We know it's not an Uncle Laser because we're not going to see him for a while. Come on. Remember that earlier when he... Remember that?
Yeah, got to go under the laser. Hopefully it'll be all right. Also, for anybody who watched last week's episode and was thinking maybe that was dog abuse, bringing Gator out here, she was shaking really bad. I'm happy to report she actually got drunk as shit in Mitzi's. After the show, she was taking a tequila shot! She was taking Jaeger shot!
Jaeger shot.
She was doing vodka shot! Is this that weirdo y'all were talking
You
about?
spotted
What's
him.
your fucking problem,
You
dude?
spotted him. That's incredible. He really stands out in the pile. You could tell because he's the only one that has no emotion on his face whatsoever.
He's the guy from TikTok that likes the trains. Have you ever seen him?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh, Mr. Roberts. Is that your TikTok handle? I'm kidding you, bitch. I don't know who the fuck.
So you were saying that the dog that was in question of animal cruelty last week because it was shaking profusely, this sweet little dog that you bought, that all is well because it was doing shots of liquor afterwards?
Yeah, she's, 8 weeks old, 9 weeks old now, so I'm thinking I can't drink, but my loved ones are sure as shit going to be drinking, so I got her drinking pretty early on. I'm just a little worried. She's such a small little dog. I'm worried about the size of her liquor. I'm worried about the size of her kidneys. I don't know if it's a sustainable thing, but she's having fun. I'm having fun. We all having fun.
William Montgomery, we absolutely love you. Another unbelievable performance. Get him on Cameo. He's traveling the world with me on my stand-up tour, the Fully Grown Tour. Adding shows as we go. It's a massive stand-up theater tour. If I'm coming near your city, I highly implore you to come along, join in on the fun. Shout out to the Red Rose, the Yellow Rose, Austin Security Guard Service, Gel Blaster, CM Smokehouse, and Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. How about one more time? Hey, y'all. The new Kill merch store is up and running at 1,000 miles an hour. It is our official Kill Tony online shop. KillMerch.com. T-shirts, hoodies, Bonsai made real Texas leather joke books, Kill Tony hats, Kill Tony knit winter hats, beer koozies.
And we actually have some new merch. This is new merch. Friends.
Sparkling. Brought to you by Celsius.
I'll have some.
Crack one open. Zip, zip.
Dude, remember they used to have that commercial about the mustard in the car or whatever?
Like the Grey Poupon.
Do you remember? Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And everybody, it was like, it was so Yeah, it
And
was,
every dad and uncle would be like, pass the Grey Poupon. And you're like, bitch, we don't have that. We just got that yellow stuff.
yeah, we don't have that because you're a construction worker.
Yeah, Dad, you work for the railroad. We don't have Grey Poupon here.
Yeah, dude.
That doesn't go on our bratwursts.
Yeah, we had this guy. This guy my mom dated used to be like, pass that yellow ketchup. He would say.
Yellow ketchup?
Yeah, that's what he used to
This
call
is
it,
cool,
dude.
man.
I think he was in like a war or something. He had some like, he might have had like some, he was in like Iwo Jima or something. But let me see this. There it is right there. That's the guy.
Yeah, that's the guy, dude. Well, it looks like there was a lot of different guys over the years. They didn't stick. They didn't stick with the one spokesman.
Yeah, this was like, and this was for a lot of, this was the richest guy we'd ever seen. When they had this, we
Yeah.
were like, no.
Well, also, this is still the richest guy I've ever seen. Who eats with a full-on TV tray in their back of their car?
That's pretty awesome.
That's sick. That's sick, dude.
That's pretty.
That's Rolls Royce. Every time I'm like, I don't really want like a real fancy car because I don't give a shit, you know.
Yeah.
But then like I'll see a Rolls Royce. I'll see like DJ Khaled in a Rolls Royce or something. I'm like, oh, that looks pretty cool though. There's like feet warmers and like just the back part can be a convertible, which is kind of sick.
Really? I've never
Yeah.
seen that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Pull
DJ
that up,
Khaled.
Zach. I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah, when I see like a super I don't know. I think the fancier you get, the fancier you can get used to. And that to me always seems like super spooky.
Yeah,
know?
because then all of a sudden, yeah, look at that. Look at back convertible. That's sick.
That is kind of neat.
That's so cool.
But that's
No,
like,
is
hey,
that
driver, you don't deserve to be in a convertible.
But then also, like, then you have to have a driver all the time. Like, if you're, like, quickly, you just want to go smash some Carl's Jr. or something, and then you got to, like, call in the driver.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
That's too much.
And people don't realize this. Somebody took me one time on a ride in a Rolls Royce or whatever, and they said we had to park so far away because they didn't want anybody dinging the doors or anything. So we had to find a spot like in a lot that was like, it was
Yeah, you're a
probably
half mile away from
the city.
From the city, yeah. You got to then get a car to get into the city
It was like,
afterwards.
yeah, we had to have an
That
Uber.
sucks, dude. I take it back. I don't need a Rolls.
Yeah, we don't need that, dude. What do you drive? You're like a Rolls Royce.
Yeah, I want to get in the back seat, but someone needs to drive the damn thing.
That's true.
No, I bought a Camaro Super Sport convertible, 2011. Like right when Workaholics came out, I'm like, whoop whoop, give me some of this good broom broom, and then I never bought a new car. I just have that car still. It's like what, 13 years old now, 10, 12.
Yeah, but if
About
you
that.
ever leave your family, I think that's one thing. You have to leave your family in that.
Well, the Camaro Super Sport is the car you leave families in. Yeah, you do not. You don't have a family if you have that car. If you have that car, you're going to leave your wife.
Yeah, that's the car.
Uh-huh.
That's like, hey, this car. It even has a goodbye Mrs. button on it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, and you're leaving with like the Applebee's waitress.
Yeah.
That's who you're vrooming off with.
Yeah, you're listening to the Joe Dirt soundtrack, which people didn't even know they had that.
Oh, dude, I bet it rips,
I
dude.
bet it fucking-
I bet it freaking rips.
Gotta be good, man.
Yeah, I'm doing my new movie, The Outlaws.
Yeah,
is
it's coming out July 7th.
July 7th.
On
It's a
Netflix.
Happy Madison movie. So yeah,
Congratulations.
thanks, dude.
Yeah.
It's the it was the sort of dream gig is to work with them because, like you just said, Joe Dirt.
Oh, yeah.
like so many goddamn classic movies. So
Yeah, me
at-
and Spade just wrote a movie together, actually.
oh sick.
And but this is about your
Riff
movie.
Raff involved?
No.
Dude,
Let's
Riff Raff hit
go.
me up and said
Okay.
he's involved.
Thanks for the
I'm
follows.
almost
Welcome to Bear
positive he
Gang.
said- I'm
Thank
gonna have
you,
to
thank
go
you,
back
thank you.
and look, but I
No,
swear,
no.
Riff Raff is not involved.
Bear Gang.
No.
All right,
I
fuck
mean,
it, fuck it.
look, blessings to Raph, baby. I think if
Yeah.
I were coming out with like a fucking never-ending bubble gum or something,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude.
Or if I were coming out with like a, like a shoe that made you jump so high that all the bitches wanted you.
Yeah. Yes. Jump like Raph.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Raph Air.
yeah, air, yeah.
Air.
Those air rafts,
Yeah,
dude.
air raft.
Like you're literally, dude. What about giraffe raft? Who would that if they had an animal called the giraffe raff?
Joe Riffraff.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying like Drift Raff, like Tokyo Drift. But that's
Drift raff
yeah.
would be good. That's a good movie
Yeah,
for
that's.
him.
Or is that a cool go-kart track that he starts? Drift Raff.
Somebody already did it.
Oh, dude, that's what sucks about the internet. Is you have a great idea, and then obviously some 13-year-old in Michigan beat you to it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's the one downside of the internet.
Yeah, because it used to be if you had a good idea in a moment, you could just say it was your good idea.
Dude, I was convinced that I came up with the Rocketeer. Remember the Rocketeer?
The guy with the packet
with
on
the
the-
pack. I was convinced that I had that idea first, and then when it came out, I was like, "How did they know? How did they steal my idea? It was in my journal.
Oh.
I'm in like 3rd grade or however old I was.
Uh-huh.
I was convinced.
How'd they get in there?
How'd they steal it?
Who did it?
Who did it?
Yeah, somebody, they had a rumor going around our area that pillows were taking people's ideas and sending them to the government.
Who was?
Pillows,
Oh,
like
the pillow, big pillow.
like sleeping pillow. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like Big Pillow was like fucking everybody. And so people weren't using pillows, I remember, for almost 8 months. And people were pissed.
Yeah.
Like, we ain't fucking, oh yeah,
Yeah.
that dream.
So then you're just smashing blankets together, trying to form a
Anything
pillow.
you could.
yeah. You're just sleeping on bags of
This?
marshmallows.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sleeping on your chubbiest brother's midsection.
Yeah. Fuck you, table.
But the Outlaws, no. First of all, congrats on being a movie star.
Yeah, dude. How weird is that?
It's very interesting. Well,
when,
it's just
when we knew each other way back in the day, you didn't. I didn't
You were
look
a
at you
television
going
star.
like this is the biggest podcaster in the game, and you didn't look at me going like this guy's a movie star. That's
No.
not what we thought.
no.
I
I
was
thought
like,
you
here's
were,
a guy in a hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a guy in a hallway.
Here's a fellow white kid doing comedy.
Yeah, here's another one of those chuckle honkies. As a lot of people
yeah.
have
There's
termed,
another
you know?
chuckle honky. That classic term.
And look, someone else probably made that term. If you bring it up right now, there's some third.
Yeah, there's a
grade-
chuckle honky. And it's just our photos on a giraffe, weirdly. Don't know why.
But some other kid drew us in his journal.
Uh-huh.
Some 3rd grader in Minnesota put us in his journal, and it's
Yeah.
actually our pictures. Like, how did he even do
Yeah,
that?
and he wrote podcaster underneath your photo, actor underneath mine. And the year was 2012, and look at us now. Wow.
But no, congratulations. Well, it's interesting because you started off just as a comedian.
Yep.
Is that? I mean, that's.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, we knew each other since like being in the hallways of the Improv, like
Yeah.
back in the day.
But was your goal always to be an actor? I don't know if you and I talked about this or not. I know you've had workaholics. I know you've had a string of movies. I know all of this.
Mhm.
But I'm just wondering where your original idea was, because it's interesting when a comedian they get into movies and they become a movie star.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people have that path, so it's just different. You know, you're a rare person we can talk to about
Yeah,
that.
I think, it was kind of always the dream. The
Okay,
dream
it
was
was.
like, the dream was basically like Sandler's path. You know, like seeing like what he was able to do stand up. I wanted to do SNL, that just never came to be. And then do movies. Yeah, essentially I started, when I was a kid, I watched a lot of like Evening at the Improv. Remember that A&E show with like Bud Freeman? He'd wear his monocle and then they bring up the comics. And
I never saw it.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. It was.
Was it that guy? Is that the guy with the? Bud Freeman's the Improv owner,
Uh-huh.
and he died.
He just died. Yeah, not too long ago. But he. Yeah. So I like loved stand up, and then you watch so much of it, and I'm sure you kind of did the same thing. It wasn't like, for me, it wasn't like the best comics. They didn't inspire me because I was like, I'm not that smart. Like, I can't figure that shit out.
Oh, you mean like a Louis C.K. or a Stephen Wright or
Yeah,
somebody
or like a Chris Rock or someone.
Oh, yeah, Chris Rock,
It was,
totally.
you know, where you're just like, oh god, these guys are geniuses. It was like the guys I saw on TV that like weren't that good, and I was like, well, I could be that good.
Right.
I know I could be that good. If that's what it takes to get on TV, I know I could be that successful.
I can do that.
Yeah, and then even at the Improv had everybody, but
Oh, wow,
But it was
I
watching
never saw
some of these people, and they were like, oh, they're not that funny, dude. I can be that funny.
Right.
And then I got a job at the Improv, which I think is probably around when I met you, and that was in like 2004.
Was Anthony Clark working there then too, or not? Do you remember that?
Anthony Clark wasn't. Yeah, he was there all the time,
But he
Yeah.
wasn't working there then.
No,
Because I would see. Oh no, he never worked.
He never
there.
worked there. He was just always.
He was always there.
at
Was
the
he
bar.
there then? That's what I mean. Yeah. I thought he worked there.
No, he was drinking at the bar so much that we should have paid him. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Anthony. I haven't seen Anthony Clark in years.
And no one has.
Wow, he was a television star. I mean, he was
Yeah.
on one of the biggest shows.
Yeah. Yes, Dear. I think
Yes,
was his-
Dear.
And then his other show is Boston Common.
Oh yeah.
Remember that? Deep cut references.
I have to get, dude. I would love to sit and talk with Anthony Clark. I bet he
Yeah.
would be really interesting.
Oh yeah.
Wow, I haven't seen him in years.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I hadn't thought about that. So you worked at the Improv.
Yeah,
Um,
and then it was like it was
crushed when you got on stage. We did a show at
Thanks,
USC
man.
together one time. I remember.
Yeah, that's right.
And that might have been maybe when Workaholics was out. And then after that came out, it was just you just went into this other world that a lot of us aren't in.
Yeah, well, we got so fucking lucky. You know, it was like, that's what it is. It's like you just sort of prepare and try to put yourself in the right place at the right time, and then you get your shot, and hopefully you're able to hit it. You know.
Yeah.
And we got so lucky. It was funny, like when Workaholics came out, because like I was kind of the kid at the Improv where I was like working the door and shit, and then I'd come on stage. And like there wasn't a ton of respect, where it's like, yeah, we know he worked here,
Right.
And
Like, yeah, sometimes that guy would even be up there, he'd be mid-order, he'd be taking his fries, they'd call his name.
Yeah.
I remember watching one guy do a set one time with fries in his hand.
Yeah, so it wasn't like a. And then as soon as the show came out, Workaholics came out, then all of a sudden it was like all the older comics were like, "Oh, hey, what's up, man?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Bitch, you don't know me." Oh, so now we're friends. Okay.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Hollywood is weird like that, man. It is weird. Sometimes there's a certain, like, someone needs to have the same experiences as you, and then that can it can make you feel like you can talk to somebody or things are a little more comfortable.
Yeah.
There are weird
Well, yeah. There's levels to this shit, as Meek Mill said.
Yeah.
And it's true. It's like you just talk to people that are like, I feel like we are kind of in the same class within like a few years of each other, kind of know, you know, and then there's like kids that are coming up that you're like, oh, they were the class beneath
Yeah.
us, and it's not that they're worse or better. It's just that they were they came up at a different time.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's like whoever you were like doing open mics with, or like doing the like first group of like bringer shows with.
Yeah.
That's who you're like, hey,
Yeah.
hey, we're gonna be friends forever because we performed in a Chinese restaurant, you know, because we're performing when there's literally bowling happening right here. Like we're getting heckled by bowling pins, so we're always gonna know each other.
Yeah, there's something kind of it's weird that there's something weird about that when you come in at the same time. Who kind of introduces you to somebody else is interesting too, because it's almost like how if somebody like you get co-signed kind of by somebody to be, you know, because some people it's like some people their lives get so busy, it's like it's hard for them to just be friends with every single person that comes along too, you know,
Yeah.
as their career gets busier and they get more
Absolutely.
known.
I know, dude. Like now I'll go into the Improv and shit, and I like won't know people,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is like, that sucks. Because it used to be like you go to the comedy club and you know everybody.
Yeah.
Like you know everybody, including like the wait staff, and you just know people.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then now I go in there and I'm like, hello, I used to be a comedian. Back in the day, I would go on this very stage.
That's awesome, man. Well, congrats, man. Congrats on having a steady career in movies too, because I know that probably gets pretty tricky. I want to think about what that's like with you, but first I want to think a little bit about the new movie, because Tom Segura has his special is coming out on the same day.
Yeah, I think it's the same day or just about the
That's
same day.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
He was
Tom's
just
great.
on. His episode's up right now. Yeah, Tom is so funny. Yeah, so tell me about Outlaws, man. I want to know a little bit about it.
Yeah, so I mean, it was.
You're an executive producer, I know that.
Yeah, producer on it. The writers, Ben. I always butcher his last name. Like I got called out on it. My agent was like, you're fucking up this guy's name. It's Zazove. Ben
Zazovo.
Zaza.
Zazovo.
Great guy,
Yeah.
awesome writer. Ben and Evan Turner, they wrote the movie. Super funny. They brought me this idea years ago at the tail end of Workaholics, and they're like, it's Meet the Parents meets Heat, and so it's if your parents are, your future in-laws are international bank robbers, and they rob the bank that you work for, and so so there they are, and we cast Pierce Brosnan and
that's
Ellen
Pierce
Barkin.
Brosnan from 007?
007, baby.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. Nina Dobrev plays my fiance. Michael Rooker's in it. Lil Rel.
Oh, Laurel's in there. Yeah.
My boy Blake Anderson has a small part in it. Yeah, so it's the cast is sick. So they pitched me this idea, and I'm like just a fucking idiot, dude. And I was like, that is a brilliant idea for a movie. I want to do this movie. Wrote it down in my notebook. Lost that notebook immediately. Forgot all about it. And years later, I'm like looking through an old notebook, being like, oh, what brilliance did I write down in here? You know?
Yeah, good.
What gold? And you're like, ugh, gross, hated, bad idea, stupid.
Yeah, recipe.
Yeah. It just is apples. It's just saying to eat fruit. And then it was this idea, and I was like, oh, fuck, that's brilliant. I reached out to those guys. I was like, hey, I'm sure John Cena is attached or someone has already beat me to this.
Yeah, Flava Flav.
Flava Flav is probably, that movie star Flava Flav. And then they were like, no, nothing. So I developed it with them. We took it to Netflix, sold it, and then brought on Happy Madison, Adam Sandler's company.
Oh, that's great, man.
Yeah, it was cool. It's cool when it works out,
Yeah, well, it's so hard to get a movie created into the finish line, especially these days. It seems even harder.
Dude, especially comedies nowadays. You have to like mask it. This is why it's a big action comedy, because you really have to go like action, and then and then it's a comedy. But this it's just like it's why I was so happy to work with Sandler's company is we could just go full steam on the comedy as opposed to you watch comedies nowadays and you're like, no, this isn't a fucking comedy. You're not. Where's the jokes? Like, where's the bits?
It's bad.
Yeah.
Comedy's gotten kind of bad, huh?
Yeah, it kind of sucks. Yeah.
Movie comedy.
Yeah. There's still good shows and stuff, but like, movie comedy, it's hard. But which, luckily, my theory is I think like Marvel ruined it. I feel like superhero movies kind of ruined comedies because people watch. You go to the theater and you expect to watch something that costs $200 million to make, and comedy movies aren't that. So you're like, well, why would I spend the same amount of money to go watch a little comedy in the theater if I could spend the same amount of money and go see something that is worth $200 million?
Right.
And then they still make those movies kind of funny. Like they're not comedies, but there's like
there's Ant-Man.
You're like, oh my god, is that raccoon talking?
Yeah.
This is hilarious. Which it is, but so it's not like a real comedy. And then now there used to be something like every studio would put out several comedies every year, and there was like 45 or 46 comedies in the theaters every year. So about every week or every other week or so, there's a new comedy in the theaters. And then now, last year, there was like 6 or 7.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
And people need, and the crazy thing is it feels like people need comedy more than ever.
Yeah, I feel like they want it. So that's what this movie was. It was like, there's no like hidden message. I feel like nowadays, people like you get to the end of what you think is a comedy, and you're like, is that about global warming?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, is there like some deep hidden message that I'm supposed to recycle more, or like, there has to be something else.
Right.
With it.
The moon is trans? Is that what?
Yeah.
Is that the surprise ending?
Yeah. You're like, okay. I guess we do have to think about that, don't we?
I agree. There's a lot of there was a great movie.
And that's what your David Spade and your movie is about.
It is.
Trans moon. Yeah. You guys are just the people to spread that message.
Oh, it's about transportation. It's about a lot of vehicles admitting who they really are. That's
cars wanting to be motorcycles wishing they were scooters.
Yeah, it's where things are, man. Oh, dude, there's a riveting scene where a short bus admits that he's a skateboard,
Yeah.
and it's powerful.
Whoa. Worth doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it. But the crazy thing is, I feel like you could walk into a place and pitch that, and you
and they wouldn't laugh you out of the room. They'd be like, okay. Well, that's the thing, because I my job now is kind of, well, obviously acting and that kind of stuff, but then I'm pitching a lot, so I'll pitch movies. And every executive is like, yeah, but why should we make this movie now? And they're like, because it's funny. Because it's funny, bitch. What do you mean? Whatever happened to just we want to make people laugh? It doesn't need to be.
right.
Yeah.
Right there, it doesn't need to attach itself to some hook in the world right now.
It doesn't. I mean, if it does and that's the movie, then sure.
Right.
But it doesn't always have to. It
No.
could just be whatever happened to just it's funny for funny's sake.
I know. I feel like Superbad was one of the last movies that they kind of had like that in some ways. That was really just super funny. There's been a lot of other funny movies. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. It was The Hangover, Superbad. It was that was sort of the last gasp of.
For no reason at all. This is just fucking funny because it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
You ever been injured? Had something fall on you or hit you? You working at the lumber yard and dang, and a 8x7 tumbles on you. Turns your neck into a dang Jenga game. Morgan & Morgan. That's right. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. They have over 100 offices nationwide and more than 800 lawyers. With over $15 billion recovered for clients, Morgan & Morgan has a proven track record of fighting to get you full and fair compensation. That's right, submitting a claim to Morgan & Morgan is easy. It's easy as dang looking at your feet. Submitting a claim to Morgan & Morgan is as easy as picking out a shirt for a toddler. Put him in it, boy. Put that little toddler in that little camisa. That means shirt. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/thispastweekend. That's FORTHEPEOPLE.com/thispastweekend, or dial pound law, pound 529 from your cell phone. That's FORThepeople.com/thispastweekend, or dial pound law, pound 529 from your cell. This is a paid advertisement. But that's did you feel good about it? Was it exciting? So this is, it's there's weapons in it. There's what's the premise of the film again?
Oh, sure. So me and Nina's character were about to get married. I've never met her parents, my future in-laws. They come in the week before the wedding. I've never even seen photos of these people. They're like ghosts, and they're just the coolest motherfuckers. It's Pierce Brosnan, Ellen Barkin, and they take me out on night on the town. We go skydiving. I get a tattoo. I get blackout drunk with them, and I'm the straight-laced banker. So this is out of the norm for me. And I go to the bank the next day, and I'm talking to Lil Rel, who is a security guard, and I'm like, dude, last night was incredible. I just need a nice chill day at work, but my in-laws are awesome. And then click, there's a gun in my head. 2 people are robbing my bank, and they have masks on, and they say something that leads me to believe that they're my in-laws. Yeah. Yeah, dude. And then they end up owing someone money. Because they bailed with the money last time. The person who cleans their money, like in Heat, the person who cleans their money, they stole that money from them and bailed, and so that woman kidnaps my fiance and is like, if you don't give me $5 million within the end of the week, I'm gonna kill your daughter, and we have to go rob a series of banks to get my fiance back.
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
Seems fun.
Yeah, it's really fun.
How long did it take to shoot something like that?
I had 2 months or something.
Were you guys able to shoot it in California?
No, dude. You don't shoot things in California anymore.
Yeah. Plus it's drugs in the park.
Yeah,
huh?
man. Yeah. We shot it in Atlanta.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which I like Atlanta. It was fun.
Yeah, Atlanta's cool, man. I mean, it's definitely it's grown so much in the past 20 years, that city. That's amazing, bro. Congratulations. So this is your first movie you're executive producing too?
No, so I produced Game Over Man, which is the movie I did with the Workaholics guys.
Okay.
And that was another action comedy on Netflix. But that one was like, this movie is, I feel, more accessible. Like, I feel like parents would want to watch this movie. Game Over Man, like, there's multiple dicks that are cut off.
Yeah.
I show my dick and my butthole in the movie.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude, you gotta check that out.
Mm.
And check it out. And yeah, so very, very funny movie, but I feel like this is a little more accessible to everyone.
I haven't seen this. I can't believe I didn't even know about this.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
It's so hard to know about things these days. Do you feel like that too?
yeah. There's so much happening. Yeah, I feel like it's there's just too much shit that's out there.
And we used to, and also our phones are a device that we go to now for entertainment. There used to be one device, really.
Yeah.
You know, it was your television, and then it became your television and your computer. And that's when streaming really was at an insane level, you know?
Mhm.
And then now it's your television, your computer, and your phone, you know? So I feel like it's...
Yeah, and it's also like the algorithm just kind of pushes things your way, and if for whatever reason
Yeah.
it didn't push it your way, then you have no clue.
Oh, dude, I walked into the last Blockbuster probably 1 year ago, and I walked in there, dude, and it was like, it was unbelievable. And this is what was the most fascinating to me about it. First of all, somebody that worked in there was like,
Where was this?
they would look over their